Though you probably don't recognize it from this angle. There's a guy inside that building, and his name is Vince Record. And if his name sounds familiar, there's a good reason for it. If you know Vince, you probably know that he graduated from our very own high school, San Jacinto High School. And he graduated as valedictorian. His father, Clayton Record Sr., established Record Rancho, which I know it sounds kind of like a hillbilly record studio, but it was a dairy, a functioning, very successful dairy. Founded in 1922, Vince found himself working at this dairy between 1982 and 1995. You might also know that Vince has a few kids of his own, which I've recorded, a couple of grandkids. You might have noticed that Vince is a bit of a fixture in the San Jacinto community. Or you could definitely say he's recorded a few hours here. So, do you still think you know this guy? Because this is the top 5 things about Dr. Vince Record that you thought you knew, but had no idea. You ever have a Christmas sausage? At number 5, the Christmas sausage. As the record states, since the early 1900s, the Record family has put together sausages, Christmas sausages, for their friends and family. But this is a pretty easy thing to accomplish considering your grandfather was the guy who ran the only meatpacking store in the entire area. And Vince and his family have enhanced this tradition by creating what he calls Christmas enchiladas. It is the fuel source, the very essence that powers these people through to make the Christmas sausage that has become such a long-lasting tradition in their family.
We built this city on rock.
Remember this song?
We built this city. We built this city on rock.
Rock and roll, right? The kind of thing that you're likely to find on a record. Right? Am I right? At number 4, he built this city. Okay, point of clarification here. He didn't actually build the city, but he did play a very critical role in the construction of Searle Park. Of course, this was all done while working with the San Jacinto Exchange Club and Valleywide Parks and Recreation District. Now, the role that Vince played was largely organizational, but what he did was coordinate a lot of the folks that would come in and dig the trenches and lay down the very important piping and infrastructure for the park's longevity. A lot of the people that came out to dig these watering trenches did it on their own free time. So here's where you probably had no idea. Now, take a look over there. See that ridge? That is the San Jacinto fault line. Now, as it turns out, drilling for water and putting in the well next to this fault line, although it sounds insane, was actually a pretty good idea, because what happened is that there was so much water that came out of this well that it was enough to water the entire park and then sell the rest of it back to the city, and that paid for the park.
Good afternoon, staff. Xerox room, do you copy?
Oh, okay, that. At number 3, Vince Record, undisputed king of the dad joke. According to many Google-generated meme sources, a dad joke is a joke that is alleged to be funny, however, it is more painful to the hearer of the joke than it is the person who's giving it.
Happy Friday afternoon, staff. It's now 4:30, and if you're still here on campus, why?
We'd better move on before we lose our,
Good morning, students. It looks like it's going to be raining cats and dogs today, so please don't step in a poodle.
Don't click that!
Ballerino and ballerino. Doggos have many friends.
Where are you going? We're not done. Keeping the old, running like new. Vince Record is the restoration man. I don't know, maybe Vince liked getting the older cars because then he could sell them for a song. This barn here, built from scratch, using used parts by Vince Record. This old thing used to be something that's not a pirate ship, and now reconstructed into a pirate ship. Everywhere you go and you walk around the property of Vince's house and you see little things that look like, why are they here? But they all have a purpose, and more than that, they have a memory attached. It's like walking through a place that is a museum, like a family museum, and everything has a story. So, many of you realize that the Record family runs deep in San Jacinto. I'm here to tell you, you have no idea. At Number 1, records, records everywhere, and not a song to play. Which actually I don't think is totally accurate because Vince actually plays the piano and probably several other instruments, which is fitting because I'm not even gonna say it. Okay, so here's how this breaks down. Vince's great uncle, Charles W. Lockwood, was San Jacinto's superintendent from 1930 to 1940, then again from 1945 to 1960. His father, Bill Record, was one of the founding members of the Mount San Jacinto Junior College and a board member in the San Jacinto Unified School District. His uncle, Clayton Record Jr., who Record Elementary was named after, was a 2-term Riverside County supervisor, a San Jacinto Unified School District board member, a chairman of the Metropolitan Water District. His last project was in fact bringing Diamond Valley Lake to the San Jacinto Valley. Susan Record, Vince's wife, is a teacher at Park Hill Elementary, and daughter Dre is also a teacher at Record Elementary. I just gotta say this, that wouldn't it be awesome if his daughter Dre got a PhD, then she would be Dr. Dre Record? How awesome is that? They should have kids named like Platinum Record and Hit Record. Too much? No? I could keep going. Okay, I won't. His cousin, Ann Record, guess what? Yeah, retired teacher from San Jacinto. He's got first cousins that were president of the school board. And oh yeah, and his cousin Randy, yeah, retired San Jacinto teacher. It's almost ridiculous. It's like everybody in his family has had some position in the school district. It's like every position where there's a position, at one point, there was one of Vince's relatives. Oh, that's just awesome. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the top 5 things that you thought you knew about Vince Record, but probably had no idea. I certainly didn't. I'm Tori Temple, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Is it just me or is it really hot in here?